أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to the G3 class. Can I ask the support teacher to please unmute a student to recite the starting prayer?
Assalamu alaikum. Can I request G3 519 to unmute their mic?
Assalamualaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Alhamdulillah. Would you like to recite the starting prayer?
Yes. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب زدني علما. Oh my Lord, increase me in knowledge. Taha 115.
Jazakumullah. Okay. We'll go through some etiquettes then before we start our class. Just to remind you that you need to make sure that before the class you have performed wuzu and that you are wearing clean clothes. It's also very important that your head is covered throughout the class and that you're sitting in a quiet place. Also, make sure that you're sitting with your parent so they can supervise and assist you. And finally, please double check that you're logged in with your correct IDs. If not, please rename yourself very quickly so you can participate in the class. Jazakumullah. Okay, so the knowledge quest. How many examples of iqlab or the exchange of noon are there in Surah Ar-Rahman verses 1 to 41? If you would like to raise your hands and the support teacher can unmute a student then.
Can I request G3 158 to unmute their mic?
G3 158, Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good, good. So, how many examples did you find of iqlab?
I found 5.
5.
Yeah.
Do you know which verses you have checked? Or did you just found 5 of them?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Okay, we'll see whether 5 is correct or wrong. We'll have a look at another student then. Can I request another student, please?
G3 512.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good too, alhamdulillah. Jazakallah. So, how many examples did you find of iqlab in verses 1 to 41?
I found 1 in verse 40.
Good, well done. So the correct answer is that there is just one example of iqlab, and that is in verse 40. G3512, do you want to read that one out, the example?
Okay. Zambihi.
Good, well done, beautiful. Do you know what iqlab means?
It means to exchange.
Exchange what?
So if there is a noon sakin before ba, instead of reading it as noon, you will read it as mim makluba, also known as miniature meme.
Brilliant, there you go. So all students, if you've heard it, that was the correct answer. Really good. But just to double check, I will repeat the iqlab rule. So it's very short. So the iqlab is the exchange, as G3512 has already informed us. It's the exchange in pronunciation when noon sakin or tanween is followed by ba mutaharrik. So when ba carries either fatha, kasra or dhamma. The sound of noon is then changed into a meme sound with a prolonged light nasal sound. So you recite it with gunna. Now in the Holy Quran, you will see a small meme on top of the tanween letter or on top of the noon sakin, which helps you to see that you have to recite with the meme sound, which is called iqlab. or the exchange. Now, today's lesson, no, before we actually move on, can I have a student maybe to go through the examples of iqlab?
Can I request G3602 to unmute their mic?
G3602, Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm good too. Jazakallah. Now, we were going through iqlab and we can see 2 examples of iqlab here. Do you want to go through them? Do you want to recite them?
Yeah.
Okay, off you go.
Farushin.
Do you want to recite? Do you want to start with Dawaz and Tasmiyah because it's phrases from the Holy Qur'an?
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Fursin batainuha zambihi.
Really good, beautiful, mashallah. So yes, as you recited, so you did convert the tanween, as you can see here. Because we have a little meme at the top, we need to recite it with the meme, and we've got the ba mutaharrik, the ba carries a fatha, as you can see. So we'll recite it with a bit of a ghunna sound as well. Furushim, yeah. And the next one, you recited that correct as well. We've got the noon sakin here, and it's followed with ba mutaharrik, which is ba with a kasra at the bottom here. So it will be zambihi. Yeah, that was really good. Well done. Jazakallah. Okay, now we'll go on to today's lesson then. And today we'll be reciting verses 42 to 43 of Surah Ar-Rahman. I will recite them to you, and then I will select some students, and you can go through it with me then. Okay, I'll recite them. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يعرف المجرمون بسيماهم فيؤخذ بالنواسي والأقدام. فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان. Could we have a student to recite the translation, please? Support teacher, could we please select a student for the translation?
Apologies, 1 second, please.
Oh, yeah, no worries.
Can I request G3650 to unmute their mic?
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm good too. Jazakallah. Okay, so would you like to recite the translation? I'll just go to Dawah's translation so you can recite it from here.
Okay. I seek refuge with Allah from Satan the rejected. In the name of Allah, the gracious, the merciful. The guilty will be known by their marks, and they will be seized by the forelocks and the feet. Which then of the favors of your Lord will you two deny?
Jazakallah, well done. Okay, we'll go through some split word translation as well, because it's always best to know what we're reciting and what word or phrase means what. So yeah, it's the translation for 42 to 43 that we're talking about. So yu'rafu means will be known. Al-mujrimuna, the guilty. Bisimahum, by their marks. فَيُؤْخَذُ, so they be seized, بِالنَّوَاسِي, with the forelock, وَالْأَقْدَامِ, and the feet, فَبِأَيِّ, which then, آلَاءِ, of the favors, رَبِّكُمَا, of your Lord, تُكَذِّبَانِ, will you two deny. Now the last few I think you already know by heart because it's coming again and again, it's repeated throughout the surah, but it's always best to know what each word means or the phrase means. Now if we can have a couple of students to go through these verses, could I please request the support teacher to unmute a student?
Can I request G3 664 to unmute their mic?
Assalamualaikum.
Walaikum salam, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm good too, Jazakumullah. So would you like to recite them?
Okay.
Yep.
A'udzu billahi minasy syaithanir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Yu'raful mujrimuna bisimahum fayukhadhu bin nawasi wal aqdam fabi ayyi ala'i rabbikuma tukazziban.
Beautiful, mashallah, very good. So just make sure that your kaf, it was good. You did do a bit of a galgala here as well, but just make sure that it's not sounding as the kaf with the line kaf because it's the dotted kaf. Yeah, it's coming from your throat. So make it a bit more prominent. Maybe you can improve that one. Try to recite wal aqdam. Try this one.
Wal aqdam.
Beautiful, well, good. That's really good. Okay, Jazakallah. Can we have another student then?
Can I request G3 572 to unmute their mic?
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm good too. Jazakallah. Would you like to recite these verses?
A'udzu billahi minasy syaithanir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Mujrimuna bisimahum fayukhadhu binna wazi dal dam fabi ayyi ala'i rabbikuma tukazziban.
Jazakallah, very good. So you make sure that if you've got fatha, you pronounce that fatha as well. And because it's a ra, and if a ra carries a fatha, you will make a bit of a rounded sound. So it's a yu'ra, ra, yeah, yu'raful. And then we've got a dhamma, muj. So it will be yu'raful mujrimuna. Try this one again.
Yu'raful mujrimuna.
Good. And this is a swat, so it's a thick letter, C, yeah. So bin nawasi, it's not C, C, it's a thick letter. Can you do this part again?
bin-nasri,
You've forgotten about the ba. Bin-nawasi.
bin-nawasi,
Good, very good. And then this da is carrying a fatha, so it's a alif madda here because we've got alif here as well. So it will be prolonged for 2 seconds. So it will be wal aqdam. Try this one.
wal-aqtam.
Really good. Well done. Jazakallah. Okay, so we'll now go on to the Hifz revision. If the support teacher could please unmute a student.
Can I request G3 601 to unmute their mic?
Assalamualaikum.
Walaikum salam. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm good too. Now, would you like to recite as to how much you've revised now?
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الرحمن علم القرآن خلق الإنسان علمه البيان الشمس والقمر بحسبان والنجم والشجر يسجدان والسماء رفعها ووضع الميزان ألا تطغوا في الميزان وأقيموا الوزن بالقسط ولا تخسروا الميزان والأرض وضعها للأنام فيها فاكهة والنخل ذات الأكمام والحب ذو الأسف والريحان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان خلق الإنسان من صلصال كالفخار وخلق الجن من مارج من نار فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان رب المشرقين ورب المغربين فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان مرج البحرين يلتقيان بينهما برزخ لا يبغيان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان يخرج منهما اللؤلؤ والمرجان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان وله الجوار المنشآت في البحر كالأعلام فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان كل من عليها فان ويبقى وجه ربك ذو الجلال والإكرام فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان يسأله من في السماوات والأرض كل يوم يسأله من في السماء.
You're mixing up two verses. It's kulla yawmin huwa.
Kulla yawmin huwa. I'm sorry, I don't know. Fi shan.
Shan.
Shan. Yas'aluhu man fis sam.
Okay, I think it's getting wobbly from here. Because then you would recite فَبِأَيِّ آلَاءِ.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to go ahead or shall we say that up to here because I think it's getting wobbly from here?
Yeah, up to here.
Okay, all right, okay. So yeah, that was really beautiful actually. Just a few things. Let me just go through that. So that was the first فَبِأَيِّ آلَاءِ. I think it will come up in verse 2. Yeah, here. So throughout your the repeated verse, whenever you come across this one, now if other students, you need to listen very carefully. Whenever some feedback is given to a student, all the other students who are muted, you need to pay attention, even if it's not your turn, but pay attention to some of the mistakes that are highlighted on the screen so you can also improve, okay? Now, on this verse, which is repeated throughout the surah, we have a big mad. For how many seconds are you going to recite this one or prolong this one?
5 to 7 seconds.
Yeah, so I would say yes, 5 to 6 seconds. But during the recitation, yes, you did prolong it, but it wasn't enough to distinguish it from this prolonging of the vertical fatha. Yeah, so you need to distinguish properly during your recitation that this is a big madda that is prolonged for about 5 to 6 seconds. Yeah. Do you want to have a go and recite it with a more prolonged recitation?
Okay. فَبِأَيِّ آلَاءِ رَبِّكُمَا تُكَذِّبَانِ?
Yeah, that's much better. So do revise that you get this one done. Let me just go through another thing. Let's just check where it was. Yes, so it's this part here. You need to connect because we've got a shadda on the lam. Minhum mallah, yeah, minhum Allah. No, sorry, minhum allu'u, yeah. So you will recite that verse again. I'll recite it once for you. يخرج منهما اللؤلؤ والمرجان. So it's connecting mallu'u, yeah. Try this one again.
يخرج منهما اللؤلؤ والمرجان.
Yeah, it's still coming as you're reciting ma first and then you're reciting lu'lu'u, but you need to really connect mal-lu'lu'u. So you need to connect the mim with the lam because the lam is carrying a shadda. Mal-lu'lu'u. يخرج منهما اللؤلؤ والمرجان.
يخرج منهما اللؤلؤ والمرجان.
Really good, well done now. Yeah, that's great. Jazakallah. Okay, so can we have another student now?
Can my sister read?
Yes, of course. Can you give me her ID or can she give it to me?
Her ID is G3602.
Yeah, brilliant. Jazakallah. G3602, are you ready? Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam. Yeah, do you want to recite?
Yes.
Okay.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الرحمن علم القرآن خلق الإنسان علمه البيان الشمس والقمر بحسبان والنجم والشجر يسجدان والسماء رفعها ووضع الميزان ألا تطغوا في الميزان وأقيموا الوزن بالقسط ولا تخسروا الميزان والأرض وضعها للأنام فيها فاكهة والنخل ذات الأكمام والهب ذو العصف والريحان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان خلق الإنسان من صلصال كالفخار وخلق الجان من نار فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان رب المشرقين ورب المغربين فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان مرج البحرين يلتقيان بينهما برزخ لا يبغيان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان يخرج منهما اللؤلؤ والمرجان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان وله الجوار المنشآت في البحر كالأعلام فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان كل من عليها ويبقى وجه ربك ذو الجلال والإكرام فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان يسأله من في السماوات والأرض كل يوم يسأله من.
Okay, that's when we have to stop now because it's not. So the correct one would be كل يوم هو في شأن.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so that's up to verse 30 then. Yeah, let's go through a few things. Let's have a look. Okay, do you want to recite this verse actually from the screen?
Yeah. يخرج منهما هما اللؤلؤ والمرجان.
Yeah, so that's the same again. You need to connect mallu'u, yeah? So you need to connect this one. But yeah, you can revise through. And the other one that I noticed for you is, let's have a look. So that is there. So we've got the inverted dhamma, which means you have to prolong for 2 seconds. Yas'aluhu man fis samawati. Yeah. Can you recite this verse or this part of the verse?
Yeah. Yas'aluhu man.
Yeah, you need to prolong for 2 seconds. Who? Yes, aluhu.
Yas'aluhu man fis samawati wal ard.
Yeah.
Wal ard.
Okay, yeah. So you need to practice to prolong the whole because it's the inverted dhamma. Make sure that you do prolong it, yeah? Okay, so Jazakallah, can we have the next student now, please?
And I request G3 596 to unmute their mic.
G3596, Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
How are you? How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm good too, Jazakallah. So, off you go.
Ar-Rahman. Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim.
Start with Dawus. Can you start with Dawus?
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim. Ar-Rahman. Allamul Qur'an. Khalaqal insan. Allamahul bayan. Ash-shamsu wal-qamaru bihusban. Wan-najmu wash-shajaru yasjudan. Was-samaa'a rafa'aha. ووضع الميزان ألا تطغوا في الميزان وأقيموا الوزن بالقسط ولا تخسروا الميزان والأرض وضعها للأنام فيها فاكهة والنخل ذات الأكمام والأرض وضعها للأنام.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Can you start again from fiha fakiha?
فيها فاكهة والنخل ذات الأكمام والأرض وضعها.
No, it's not والأرض. والحب.
والهب ذو العصف والريحان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان والأرض وضعها.
No, it's not والأرض. خلق الإنسان.
خلق الإنسان من صلصال كالفخار وخلق الجان من مارج من نار. That's how much I know.
Yeah, okay, that's great. Jazakallah. Okay,
Can
so
my sister read?
yeah, yes, she can. But before we go on, we'll go through a few things. Okay. Yeah, so it's a very common mistake, but please correct it. All the other students as well, do prolong the big mother for about 5 to 6 seconds. Can you recite this one, please?
فبأي آلاء ربكما فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان.
Yeah, and can you spot the big mother in this verse and recite it correctly? Let's have a look whether you can do this one on your own.
وخلق الجان من مارج من نار.
Yeah, so it's good, but try to prolong even more. Yeah, so وَخَلَقَ الْجَانَّ مِن مَّارِجٍ مِّن نَّارٍ.
وخلق الجان من مارج من نار.
Good. And make sure that you do have a bit of a pause on the non-mushaddad because you need to promenade this one. Yeah. Jazakallah. So that was up to verse 16. Yeah, and what's your sister's ID?
G3 597.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum. Would you like to recite?
Yes, please. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الرحمن علم القرآن خلق الإنسان علمه البيان. الشمس والقمر بحسبان والنجم والشجر يسجدان والسماء رفعها وبدأ ذا الميزان ألا تطغوا في الميزان وأقيموا الوزن بالقسط ولا تكسروا الميزان والأرض وضعها للأنام فيها فاكهة والنخل ذات الأكمام والهب ذو الأصف والريحان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان خلق الإنسان من صلصال كالفخار خلق الجن من ماء.
It's not خلق. You can correct if you like, or we can stop here.
Okay.
Yeah? Do you want to stop or do you want to have a go?
Have a go.
Okay. You can start actually from the previous verse, which was خلق الإنسان من صلصال كالفخار.
خلق الإنسان من صلصال كالفخار خلق الجن من مارج من نار فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان. That's how much I know.
Yeah, that's good. Well done. Okay, we'll go through a few things. So when you recite your Ra, that is in, hold on, let's have a look. That was here actually. Yeah. So you recite it as was-samaa rafa'a. So you were reciting ra, but this one is carrying a fatha, so it will be pronounced with the round mouth, ra. Ra.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you want to say just the ra first? Ra.
Raw.
Good. So try to recite this one, and again with your big mudda, they need to be prolonged for about 5 to 6 seconds, and that was in the repeated verse as well, which is فَبِأَيِّ آلَاءِ. But we'll come to that one as well. But before we go, can you recite this one? I will recite it for you. It's وَالسَّمَاءَ رَفَعَهَا وَوَضَعَ الْمِيزَانَ.
والسماء رفعها ووضع الميزان.
Yeah, so have a rounded mouth, raw, yeah, and then we'll have on, yeah, this one here. I did hear a bit of a ghunna sound when you were reciting this part. Try to have no ghunna sound when you're not supposed to have it. So it will be fiha fakihatun wan nakhlu. The only ghunna will be here, tunwa, but no ghunna here. Yeah. Try to recite this verse.
فيها فاكهة والنخل ذات الأكمام.
Good, really good. And then, yeah, again on your فَبِأَيِّ آلَاءِ. Yeah. So I will go on to the next one, because otherwise I will have to click on the pages. We can take this one as an example, yeah? So it's, again, we do have the big mud, or here as well, either or. You need to prolong it for 5 to 6 seconds. I cannot stress it out because most of the students just come in and recite the big mud with just maybe 3 seconds prolonging or 2 seconds prolonging, but that doesn't distinguish it with this yeah, make sure that you do prolong it for 5 to 6 seconds.
Okay.
Have a go. Yeah.
فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان.
Yeah, much better. So do revise this one. And then on there, I think, yeah, when you were reciting this verse, I didn't hear the va actually. So if this one starts with va, وَخَلَقَ الْجَانَّ. Do you want to have a go with this verse again?
وخلق الجن من مارج من نار.
Yeah, that's much better now. Okay, Jazakallah. Now can we have another student, please?
I request G3638 to unmute their mic.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam. So it's G3 and I couldn't get your ID, sorry.
G3638.
638. Jazakallah. Okay, yeah. Do you want to have a go?
Okay then. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الرحمن علم القرآن خلق الإنسان علمه البيان الشمس والقمر بحسبان والنجم والشجر يسجدان والسماء رفعها ووضع الميزان ألا تطغوا في الميزان وأقيموا الوزن بالقسط ولا تخسروا الميزان والأرض وضعها للأنام فيها فاكهة والنخل ذات الأكمام والهب ذو العصف والريحان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان خلق الإنسان من صلصال كالفخار فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان يخرج منه
Do you want to start again from خلق الإنسان?
خلق الإنسان من صلصال كالفخار فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان.
So that repeated verse doesn't come in yet. Something else in between.
Oh yeah, خلق الجان من مارج من نار فبأي.
So we'll have to stop here because that's the wrong recitation then. Let me show you. There you go. So it will be wa, yeah, don't forget the va. We've got the va here. Wa khalaqal janna min marijin min nar. That would be the next verse. Okay, that's fine. When you were reciting, I did ask you purposefully to recite from this verse again because in the first recitation, I didn't hear this bit correctly. So if you can recite this one again from the screen.
خلق الإنسان من صلصال كالفخار.
Yeah, much better now. And then can you recite? Was just previously actually here. There you go. Can you recite this verse?
ألا تطغوا في الميزان.
Yeah, so you have to prolong because you've got ya madda. Mizan. ألا تطغوا في الميزان. 2 seconds. Try this one.
ألا تطغوا في الميزان.
good. Jazakallah. Yep, okay, revise with these highlighted mistakes and that should be good then. Jazakallah. Can we have another student now?
Can I request G3 641 to unmute their mic?
Yeah, G3641. Assalamu alaikum. G3641. I think they're not responding. Shall we have another one?
Can I,
Oh, there you go. She's coming, I think. G3641, can you hear me?
Yeah, yes.
Yep. Do you want to recite?
Yes, start. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الرحمن علم القرآن خلق الإنسان علمه البيان الشمس والقمر بحسبان والنجم يهتدي يهتدان والسماء رفعها ووضع الميزان ألا تطغوا في الميزان وأقيموا الوزن بالقسط ولا تخسروا الميزان.
Yeah, okay.
ووزعها للأنعام فيها فاكهة والنخل ذات الأكمام والنخل والعصب ريحان وبأي آلاء تكذبان.
Yeah, shall we stop here then? I think you...
Recite.
Yeah, I think we should stop here now. Yeah. So let's have a look at a few things that we can still improve. It's actually Bismillah. When you're reciting, you recite too fast, yeah? Because then what happens, you're jumping over a few letters as well then. Try to recite from the screen with me. It's Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim.
Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim.
Good, well done. And then let's have a look. So it's this verse. On this verse, make sure that you do recite each letter again because you are jumping over a few. Rafa'aha wa. Yeah? Make sure that you do pronounce both of the va. Can you have a recitation again of this one? Okay. So we have a big madda. Yeah. Listen carefully first, yeah? Listen carefully to me. So we have a big madda. We'll go step by step. والسماء رفعها. Yeah, we'll go step by step. Okay, you need to practice the highlighted mistakes, yeah? So you need to prolong on the big madda and you do need to recite both the va. It will be وَالسَّمَاءَ رَفَعَهَا وَوَضَعَ الْمِيزَانَ. And you can go over this to practice. The next thing that I can tell you is just in the next one. Let's have a look. Yeah, this one here. Can you recite this verse from the screen?
ألا تطغوا في الميزان.
ألا تطغوا في الميزان.
ألا تطغوا في الميزان.
Good, well done. And then in verse, hold on, that's right, I think it's on the next one. Yeah, that is this one here. So I think you haven't revised properly up to here, but I think you can have a go on the screen to recite this verse because I think it wasn't properly revised, so you can have a go again.
Yes, right.
So I can recite, yeah? Go on. Yep. وَالْحَبُّ ذُو الْعَصْفِ وَالرَّيْحَانِ. Try in a one go.
Say again. War-Rayhan.
Yeah. And then the next one. Can you recite the next verse as well?
Rabbikuma.
Good, really good. So what I will do is I will recite it to you and you can recite after me, okay? Listen very carefully before I finish, yeah? فَبِأَيِّ آلَاءِ رَبِّكُمَا تُكَذِّبَانِ. Now you can recite.
Say again. Say again. Rabbikuma.
Okay, that's fine. I think your mum was with you, so she has probably made notes of what needs to be revised again. But that was good. Well done, Jazakumullah.
His sister also want to recite.
Okay, yeah. Can I have her ID, please?
640.
G3 640.
Jazakumullah. Yeah, off you go very quickly.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم فبأي الرحمن علم القرآن خلق الإنسان علمه البيان الشمس والقمر بحسبان والنجم والشجر يسجدان والسماء رفعها ووضع الميزان ألا تطغوا في الميزان وأقيموا الوزن بالقسط ولا تخسروا الميزان والأرض وضعها للأنام فيها فاكهة والنخل ذات الأكمام والحب ذو العصف والريحان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان وخلق الإنسان من صلصال كالفخار وخلق الجن من مارج من النار فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان ورب المشرقين ورب المغربين فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان يخرج منهم مرج البحرين يلتقيان بينهما برزخ لا يبغيان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان يخرج منهما اللؤلؤ مرجان والمرجان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان.
Okay, I'll have to stop you here because we're running out of time, but that was really beautiful, mashallah. I'll go through a few things that you can still improve. So that is in verse, let's have a look. Oh, not okay. So on this one, can you recite verse 14 again, which is this one? Can you recite this one again?
خلق الإنسان من صلصال كالفخار.
Good, that's much better now. Do make sure that you recite it like this as well in your recitation, otherwise it was good. Jazakallah. Right, so we're approaching the end of our class now. So for your homework, you need to memorize Surah Ar-Rahman, verses 42 to 43, which we've gone through today, and do make sure that you keep up with your revisions because you need to revise verses 1 to 41. Now, could I please request the support teacher to unmute a student, please?
Can I request G3 607 to unmute their mic?
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Would you like to recite the ending prayer?
Yes. Allahumma hamni Bil-Qur'an al-Azim. O Allah, have mercy on me through the great Quran. وَاجْعَلْهُ لِي إِمَامًا وَنُورًا وَهُدًى وَرَحْمَةً, and make it for me the leader, the light, the guidance, and the mercy.
Really good, Jazakallah. Just a tiny thing here. It's not Allahumma, it's Allahumma. Make a round sound. Do you want to have a go again? It's Allahumma arhamni.
Allahumma arhamni.
Yeah, it's Allahumma arhamni bil-Qur'an al-Azim. Really good, Jazakallah. Just a bit of a rounding on this part here because it's Allah's name and we do round it, especially when we carry a fatha on the alif. But yeah, Jazakallah, well done, and Jazakumullah to all students for joining this class today. MashaAllah, you all did really well. Jazakallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.